Okay. Ah, one of my favorite guys to react to. FLAKKO fat ass. FLAKKO like the fat cousin that be down for the shits though. You know what I'm saying? I take his ass through the hood with me. FLAKKO might could go through the hood. Anyway, let's get into what he talk about, because this nigga talk about Jeezy might be a snitch to some shit that came out back when I was a young nigga. And the internet is bringing it back up now. And then I kind of want to say like this, right? First off, y'all know we do blind reactions over here. So I didn't watch this yet. You know what I'm saying? I just type in FLAKKO name. There's some new shit he just dropped. He drops shit like every hour. And yeah. So we gonna get into it like that. But what I wanted to say is this. When I see FLAKKO doing stuff now, because of the way they curried it with the Young Thug stuff, it seemed like Whack 100 was able to just bow off all these West Coast type podcasters. So now when I see FLAKKO do stuff, I feel like Whack 100 is behind this. So I wonder if Whack 100 and Jeezy is having some issues behind scenes that caused Whack 100 to put the battery into like FLAKKO back and send FLAKKO to go ahead on and do that. I'm just saying, that's how I think now. But look. Let me shut up and let's get into it.
Has been outed as a rat, has been outed as a cooperator. This time, he wasn't outed by Blue Da Vinci or Gucci Mane, his usual ops. No, he's been outed by...
He been outed by fat-ass FLAKKO.
The FBI themselves. The snitching allegations on Jeezy is actually centered around the two biggest storylines of his career: his beef with Gucci Mane and his association with BMF. Back in 2005, when Gucci Mane and Jeezy was beefing, their beef actually led to somebody being murdered, a man called POETIK, which was really good friends of Jeezy.
So look, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, because bro, all over the internet right now. So listen what I'm saying, right? I think YFN and Lucci and Young Thug squashing their beef is just as monumental as Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy squashing their beef, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the old heads and the young niggas, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the same type of impact on the community and I guess hip hop for real.
Now, the publicized story of this is Gucci Mane caught the body in self-defense. Sure. However, Gucci Mane was initially charged. Then it was...
And like, again, the internet has come out. I can stop it. So don't be upset. This is my shit. I'm stop it when I'm ready, right? Now, the internet has come out and said that there was another homie there who supposedly caught the was the one who shot Pookie Loc and not Gucci Mane, and that's why Gucci Mane beat it. Just one of those hood theories. You know how the hood is.
Was dropped due to self-defense. And we learned all about Gucci Mane's legal troubles due to this murder. But what's not told is that murder of Pookie Loc actually got Jeezy on the Feds' radar. And the Feds actually blame Jeezy more for that murder than they blame Gucci Mane. If you guys are kind of blurry about what exactly happened between Gucci Mane and Jeezy...
It's no blur. And let me add this to your story, FLAKKO, because you be having your shit together a little bit here and a little bit there. Let me get to it, right? If they could have tied that murder in to BMF and made it look gang related, then Jeezy would have went down with that whole situation. But being as though the Pookie Loc situation was looked at as some rap stuff, and they was going to deal with him on a conspiracy dealing with just his stuff and not the conspiracy dealing with BMF. Two different situations.
Let me, redraw your memory.
My bad.
With Gucci Mane and Jeezy leading the way in Atlanta rap, it was only inevitable that a collab would come soon. In 2005, Gucci Mane and Jeezy would record 2 songs together. The first song was Black Tees, which was a response to Dem Franchise Boys' hit song White Tee. And the second song was So Icy, or just Icy. So Icy.
My first time ever seeing So Icy was on BT Uncut at like 3 a.m. That's probably telling my age, but if you know about BT Uncut off the 3 a.m., that was my first time ever seeing So Icy, and that shit, I was like, damn, who these niggas is? They just like killed that joint. I thought the shit was just cheesy at first, the beat with the So Icy type you know what I'm saying, course, but they killed it, you know what I'm saying?
He would go crazy in the streets almost immediately, and would then be featured as the main single on Trap House 1. The song was such a massive hit that even high schools across the country banned the iconic snowman tee that Jeezy wore in the video.
Man.
But as time went on, rumors surfaced that Jeezy may have been upset.
I remember going to school in the 7th or 8th grade, and they was making us turn the damn the snowman t-shirts around. Slim, we had to turn the t-shirts inside out. You know what I'm saying? If you came to school with that joint on, you had to turn that joint inside out. They was all over that snowman shit.
With how things went. Although it's still not 100% clear why Jeezy was upset, we can assume it has something to do with the fact that he wanted the song to be on his upcoming album. He quickly took to the studio to release a diss track titled Stay Strapped, where at the end of the song he would put a $10,000 bounty on Gucci's So Icy chain.
Real talk, I got a bounty on that shit. 10 stacks, man. You know Jeezy pay.
What's wrong with these burger buns? They taste perfectly delicious, but due to a production mishap, their bottoms are slightly curved.
Jeezy would start to distance himself from Gucci and cause some strain on their friendship.
Them fools was dropping little diss songs, and man, this one diss songs was really diss songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I really wasn't moved by the Kendrick and the Drake diss, man. That battle wasn't really like hitting on nothing to me. It was more catty, more gossipy. But this shit back in these days, yeah.
Friendship. Gucci would also get upset at the fact they could never perform their song live, which he felt they were missing out on a huge part of promotion. Because once again, this is in the days where live shows made a huge impact on getting your music heard. But Jeezy didn't stop, and he continued the beef. Over the coming weeks, the petty beef would turn into something much more. One summer evening, Gucci would go home with a stripper after a party, just a month after the So Icy hit dropped. 5 men stormed the home where Gucci was staying, armed with pistols, brass knuckles, and duct tape. They would get into a physical altercation, pistol whipping the stripper and hitting Gucci in the face. One of the men allegedly yelled, "Shoot him."
So that's the first time I've heard this story a million times, yo. A million times. That's the first time I ever heard of them pistol whipping the female, because it was always said that the female is the one who set up Gucci. You know what I'm saying? So I never heard about them pistol whipping her ever.
Upon realizing his life was at risk, Gucci shot back. Some people say he reached for his gun, where other stories say he may have disarmed one of the men and took his. He shot the gun, killing one of the men as the others ran off.
Dang.
3 days would go by until someone found the body of the deceased man in the woods behind an elementary school. When the smoke cleared, authorities identified the man as Pookie Lock, one of Jeezy's prodigies under his CTE label. After 9 days, Gucci Mane would turn himself in, claiming self-defense. He released his...
What I never understood is this. Unless Pookie Look was just a street homie that was hanging around to specifically do certain things of that type of nature. If he was gonna be one of the guys on the label going to try to collect Gucci Mane chain, or even a hit on Gucci Mane head for 10 bands, is retarded. Like, you ain't get ready to get that at a show or two? I'm confused. You was Young Jeezy at the time. Why would you go do all that for 10 bands?
The statement saying he's not a murderer, but he was scared for his life, and he had to be a man about it.
For some reason, Jeezy has always maintained his innocence and denied that he sent men to kill Gucci. He's always says he's innocent. However, the fans wasn't buying it. Gucci wasn't buying it. And the fans weren't buying it.
Oh, yeah.
Stay with me, okay? At this point in Jeezy's life in 2005, everything was going downhill for him.
For sure.
His homie died trying to kill Gucci.
For
His
sure.
crew that he was rolling with at the time, BMF, well, they got indicted for a RICO. Now, everybody got indicted but Jeezy. And a lot of
how oh my gosh, now this started to make sense, because look, how did Jeezy get a deal with Diddy after BMF was supposedly responsible for Diddy's bodyguard and close best friend Wolf being deleted? With Jeezy being so close to BMF, how did he wind up inking a deal with Diddy in any type of way?
People was very confused about that, because even Blue Da Vinci got indicted. And
For
Blue
sure.
Da Vinci, you can probably make an argument was around BMF just as much as Jeezy was around BMF.
So let me correct this situation here for our little community over here that listens. At first, with Jeezy being such a big artist, you would think that Jeezy was number 2 on BMF, just like Atlanta courts thought that Gunna was number 2 on YSL street shit on the crime part. Now, I say thought because after I done listened to a multitude of Blue Da Vinci interviews, Blue Da Vinci has said multiple times that Jeezy was initially his homie, his little man that he brought around. And when him and Meech caught a case and he couldn't be around Meech, then he sent Jeezy basically to be like Meech, dude boy, running man, since Meech was on house arrest, couldn't leave out the house. And that's how Meech and Jeezy got cool. So that's one thing that bruh got a little misconstrued as far as he's saying Blue Da Vinci been around just as much as Jeezy. No, Blue Da Vinci is the reason Jeezy was around. So he's around more than Jeezy.
Now, well, Blue Da Vinci did a Ken Capone interview a couple of years ago. And during this interview, Blue Da Vinci broke down how Jeezy got out of being indicted with BMF when the feds initially came and indicted Big Meech and everybody associated with BMF.
In the grocery store, the line like, "Ooh, old white lady, do you know that Gunna told you was a bitch?" Like all that shit, bitch ass shit. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm cut from the cloth that you got your information on whoever is the rat, and you got it in black and white, and you understand what went on with such case or whatever.
And if y'all feel that way about Gunna, if you's a bitch for calling Gunna a rat and you don't have no black and white, then you gotta be a bitch for calling Thug a rat because ain't no black and white that say nobody locked up.
You feel me? So, you know, when it come down to me, it's just different.
Was Jeezy in the paperwork?
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is public information. You can look up right now on your phone. Man testifies about Jeezy's cocaine selling. Ooh. Type in your phone something like that. You're going to see
17.5. You niggas know the name.
One of the who name it lights. Ralph Simmons.
Hey, bro. I don't care if I'm in the kitchen cooking steak and eggs and potatoes, man. You cut up some young Jeezy, I'm whipping that shit, bro. I ain't finna lie to you.
Sims, the same that told about the limo that tried to say I told. Ralph Sims, Ralphie. Told on Jeezy, told everything Jeezy ever did. Jeezy had like 12. Jeezy had more statements on him than me. Damn. What you talking about?
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is based.
That says a lot because guess what?
But no.
If the law got Blue Da Vinci, who was like baby Meech at the time, before it was a little Meech, it was Blue Da Vinci. If Blue Da Vinci, who was at baby Meech status at, not baby Meech, I'm sorry. If Blue Da Vinci was like, you know what I'm saying, underneath Meech as his young nigga that he putting his he giving the game to, if Jeezy name in there more than Blue Da Vinci name, that lets you know Jeezy really was on some shit. Because they got Da Vinci as number 2. This is baby Meech. That's what they was calling him in the paperwork and shit. But if they got him as number 2 and they got Jeezy name in it more or just as much as his, Jeezy was on that shit.
He didn't get indicted because he did some more other shit. I feel like that. I know some things he did. Like,
oh, shit. What's that dude name from Indiana? Freddie Gibbs. You got Freddie Gibbs. You got Blue Da Vinci. And we never heard Big Meech come out and clear Jeezy name or none of this shit. So it's like, Jeezy, my nigga, I'm telling you, bro, this shit crazy, man. This shit crazy.
Like, he turned Meech cars into the feds. The same Porsche truck and that Ferrari I was talking about.
We go back.
He did some more other shit. I feel like that. I know some things he did. Like, he turned Meech cars into the feds. The same Porsche truck and that Ferrari I was talking about. Damn. A while before he came to Miami.
So he's saying reason Jeezy ain't get indicted is because Jeezy turned Big Meech cars over to the feds. That's crazy.
And doing some lie detector tests about this gun case he caught one year in 06 when I went to go meet him. We had a shootout, not against him, but some other, like when me and him start trying to talk, some other popped it off with us and we end up having a shootout. And he ended up going to jail for a gun. If anybody is familiar with that Miami case, him and Twin came back to do a polygraph test supposed to be for that shit. And the security said that
I don't know. Do that? I don't know, man. You get a gun charge in DC. Your ass sit. Ain't no polygraph, none of that shit, man. That's your gun. They ain't asking your ass nothing. You, I don't know. When the niggas start getting the opportunity to take a polygraph test to say it's not their gun.
Meech cars pulled up on flatbeds, nigga, into the federal building.
You delivered this nigga cars on flatbeds. You ain't even let them go get damn police tow trucks, the joints that take your shit when you downtown and you shouldn't be downtown parking, clubbing, and now you come back, your shit is booted and being towed. You know what that white police truck look like. You bought that shit on flatbeds, Jeezy? Oh, man.
When he went and did it, when he was inside for his meeting or whatever. So I know he turned in the cars. Ain't no telling what people be doing, bro. That's all I know he did. And then he told about how the gun case that was already thrown out at the state level, and then the feds picked it back up. So everybody look up Big House. You look up Big House. He was a security for Jay-Z. He was a security for Big Meech. He was also security for Young Jeezy.
Then how you snitch on Jay-Z security, but you got all this clout and shine and love with Jay-Z. Jay-Z stay on every album you drop when you need him to, or you know what I'm saying, vice versa. Like how this industry working for real, man? Like Thug my nigga, but I'm telling you, like I would have been highly pissed off if my man just sat in there for 2 hours and talked, you know. Now I gotta give Thug the benefit of the doubt because he's Thug, but it's like, what the fuck is they doing, man?
Yeah, Jeezy put the people on his ass, and he'll let you know. You look him up, he talking his story, and you know, you got all these people with these accounts of these people that's out here. Sorry, y'all, I just be the bearer of bad news because 10 years go by and people act like they ain't never heard nothing, don't know nothing. Like, hold on, the selective politics shit got to stop.
If you look at that BMF indictment, they were indicting people, I'm talking about at the low level, just an association. For sure. Right? Yo, you was claiming BMF, RICO.
For sure.
Yo, there were people on that case who did like 2 years or 3 years for like low level involvement with BMF.
For sure.
But Jeezy, who was with BMF on a daily basis, was not charged. Now,
see, they always made it seem like Jeezy skated past on this situation because he came at him like he was an artist. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I will say Big Meech threw him some shine because, it blew Da Vinci too. Because both of them was like, nah, Jeezy wasn't really living like that. See, that's how Blue Da Vinci be contradicting himself. One minute he say Jeezy wasn't living like that, but then he say it's a nigga in the paperwork for BMF that's snitching and telling everything that Young Jeezy was doing as far as the stuff that he was doing. So one minute they say he was writing about their life, and Big Meech and Blue Da Vinci. Oh, he wasn't living like that. He was right what he see with us. When he was talking about them Porsche trucks, that was Meech trucks, all that shit, right? But then you sit around and say, in black and white, that, yeah, nah, don't contradict yourself.
This story has been told by Blue Da Vinci and other members for years, but because they are at a point in their careers where they aren't as successful as Jeezy, it's always been looked at, man, they hating. Now, Blue Da Vinci would also will also give another point, like in his interview, at the time he believed or where he began to think, oh yeah, Jeezy is cool.
Like even when I saw that interview, I was like, damn, Blue Jai's salty because not only in that interview was he going at Jeezy, he was also going at Big Meech. He ain't saying out of our Big Meech right now. He making his you know what I'm saying, disgruntledness heard.
Cooperating with the feds was with the records and the contracts, right? So Blue Da Vinci was trying to get off the ground, trying to get the music hot again. He had a record with Jeezy. Now, Jeezy was supposed to clear the record, sign the contract so it could go. He dropped the record and the record got pulled from the radio. That's because Jeezy never signed the contract. And he pursued that.
Goofy rappers pay me full verse, don't even clear the song.
And you're about to hear him explain
rappers
how the pursuit of trying to get Jeezy to sign that contract led him to think, oh.
Rubik's Wow Cube lets you play in a whole new way. It is a unique, portable cube that you can twist, tilt, and play.
Twist that shit off the screen.
You're cooperating.
And I pushed the record out. It was on Koch. It was getting promoted and all the shit. It was getting promoted correctly. All the numbers was right. I was like 300 and some spins a week on my BDS at the time. And I got a call from my team. It was like, bro, they talking about, it was like a Tuesday. I think it was a Tuesday, if I am mistaken.
Nigga, you know exactly what day and time it was. Stop faking.
I was on the road on my tour bus, and I got a call from my team, and they said that on Thursday, in 2 days, they going to pull the record from radio if they don't get Jeezy and CTE signature. Damn. They wasn't signed off for the record. So I like, what? I'm like, all right, hold on, bro. Let me call this and blah, blah, blah. So I called it. And this wasn't the first time I called him about that. It was already mentioned before they dropped the shit. So they dropped it and we still didn't have the signatures. And I think it was dropped on good faith that we was going to get the signatures from Alan Grunblatt at Koch. They got the shit.
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I've been, I done watched a lot of BMF documentaries. You know what I'm saying? Blue Da Vinci ain't got no rap skills, man. I ain't hating on Blue. Stand up, man. His soldier, you know what I'm saying? He stood tall. He seemed like one of the only people out BMF that didn't run his mouth. And or one of the few people out BMF that didn't run their mouth when it came to certain stuff. But I always looked at it as he was being a little hated, like a little salty. Because, like I said, he was Meech's right-hand man, his young nigga, you know what I'm saying? And then here comes Jeezy, and Jeezy just blew up. And you know what I'm saying? Jeezy shouting Meech out in the song, shouting BMF out in the songs, and it's making it look like it's Meech and Jeezy. But then when it's time for niggas to get indicted, Jeezy don't get indicted. So, you know what I'm saying? I always understood from his point of view.
They worked it out with Clear Channel or whatever. So, you know what I'm saying?
But he couldn't rap. I never understood. Like, I heard Big Meech say on the documentary, we putting everything behind Blue with this rap shit. If Blue don't blow, we don't blow. Fuck it. I was like, damn, man. They had the songs playing while they was doing the documentary. I thought, that's not it. That's not gonna blow.
Saying so the record could stay up there, and they was telling them they gonna have the paperwork or however it went. But them motherfuckers, I called Jeezy. He swear up and down to God in heaven. He signed off and all this shit.
Probably did.
But I had my signature, then my signature for BMF Entertainment as the owner. Then we had Alan Nim's signature from Koch. Then we had John Jackson, which is Fabulous name as an individual, Fabulous, the artist. Then we had Skane and Clue for Desert Storm was signed off. I had those signatures. I saw them with my eyes. Then I think I had, at this time, was Jay Brown's signature from Def Jam. He was the vice president of Def Jam at that time. I believe his signature.
Well, but dig this. Because I think this is what G Herbo going through right now with his homies and shit, right? When the homies is hot and they got a bunch of gang activity going on and the feds watching them and the people who making the money already, when it come to signing off on certain shit, paying for bills, paying for hospital bills, paying for film, once you keep doing that enough and you doing it at the right or wrong time when they watching you, that's going to get you a conspiracy or get you tied in with some shit. So, man, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I could pay for you to get a feature with somebody else at another company and they could sign off on it. But I don't want to actually sign off with you directly on my shit while the big homie is getting fucking locked up. And you know what I'm saying? No, I don't know.
It was on my record for Def Jam.
He gets tired of calling Jeezy because Jeezy is clearly giving him the runaround. He don't understand why Jeezy don't want to clear the record. So he tells Jeezy, I'm going to pull up on you. Now, when he pulls up on Jeezy, when they're talking, an altercation broke out and a shootout happened. They never really got to finish their like conversation. Jeezy ultimately does like a polygraph test for the incident to prove that he was not the one that shot, and like he fought a case for it, et cetera, et cetera.
So, Ho, when you doing this polygraph test, right, and they ask you, okay, did you shoot a gun? And you say, nah, I ain't shoot a gun. When they say, do you know who shot a gun? How do you answer that on the polygraph test when you 100% know who shot it? How did you pass that? Damn, that's tough, man.
Right? But at the conclusion of this, Blue Da Vinci came to the conclusion,
Create spellbinding campaigns with full funnel advertising.
Jeezy is cooperating with the feds, and the feds is probably telling him not to do anything to help out BMF or else he will get indicted.
The next day I talked to him like, bro, where you at? I'm just finna pull up. I left my tour route.
That make 100% sense on what I was saying. That makes sense.
And drove the bus all the way to Miami to go have a conversation with Jeezy about the record being signed off. And that's when that shootout happened that I was just talking about previously.
That thing. All right, cool. I'm finna meet up with you and talk to you about why I can't sign off on the record to avoid certain stuff with the squad. And when we link up, as soon as we start talking, a shootout happened. That's exactly why I don't want to sign off on it anyway. Y'all niggas hot. The squad is hot right now.
I went to talk to him about that record. That's what the conversation was about. I was coming to meet him and confront him about the shit with all of this shit with me. And as soon as we start talking, Tula was walking down the street with dreads and they're like, oh shit, there go Jeezy, dog. And they're like, oh, and Blue, that's Jeezy and Blue, nigga, that's BMF right there, nigga. Oh, bro, let us get a picture. And then my little cousin twin, big twin, he like, nah, nigga, they ain't taking no picture. You see they trying to talk. So the little like, well, then. And then the twin fired him, boom. And that's what started that shit that ended.
Damn. So y'all take off on the fans that wanted a picture, not necessarily y'all, but y'all entourage represent y'all. Them young niggas seen Jeezy. I don't know about no damn body recognizing no Blue Da Vinci or like that, talking about some BMF and all that shit, Blue Da Vinci. No. They recognize Jeezy though. And y'all probably got heated. It's probably hard to stand outside and talk to a nigga that's recognized like that.
It up to the shootout. And me and him never talked about the record right there because that fight turned into a shootout, turned into we all ran, turned into Jeezy got locked up for the gun. And then later on, Jeezy went back to have a polygraph test about that situation. That was all about that day. I went to meet him to talk about why he didn't sign off on my record with me, him, and Jeezy, and they pulled it from the radio.
I try to come holler at you about the shit to let you know what's going on. You get into a shootout, I'm the one get locked up for gun charges.
And I believe he couldn't because the feds had jacked him and told him, nigga, if you help these niggas, and the same reason why he couldn't do the deal with us. Same reason why he couldn't put his name on the contract, because the contract ensues help to BMF. Exactly. And they struck his ass down and told him they were going to put your ass in prison. Exactly. If you continue to help Big Meech and Blue in that BMF shit, you're going to fully pull away from that shit. Like, there ain't nobody else stop quitting the mob. He the only in history that just stop claiming a mob.
Up until this point, it's been a theory. It's been one of those things that just floated around. People essentially came to the conclusion, man, these is hating niggas trying to tear down Jeezy, who's a successful black man who done beat the streets. All right, these ninjas is hating. Well, a former FBI agent who was actually tasked with investigating this RICO and indicting Jeezy on a RICO, he spoke. Now, apparently, when Pookie Loc got killed by Gucci Mane, and it was believed that Jeezy sent Pookie Loc and them to murder or kill Gucci Mane, and it just backfired, the federal agent would say, yo, they had witnesses, they had wiretaps, they had everything. They were seconds away from indicting Jeezy on a clear-cut, open and shut RICO.
Yeah, that man got on the radio and put a bounty out on a nigga chain. Like, of course he was going down for some Rico shit.
For the murder of Pukilo. Kind of like how they did with YFL Lucci, where YFL Lucci went sliding on the ops. His homies hop out, start shooting. The ops shot back. The homie died. They charged YFL Lucci with a Rico for his homie's murder. They was going to do the same with Jeezy. But the FBI agent would say something very odd happened that stopped all of that.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? It's me again. And you know, when you see one of these, well, it's upside down. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Look, this is a Happy Run G100 Pro, and we're going to get to it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the guy's name because he's pretty famous. And to be fair, he was never charged with a crime. But we had these two rappers in Atlanta in the early 2000s, and they were beefing with each other, trading diss tracks, the whole thing. Then rapper number one, the famous one, orders his goons to go beat up rapper number two and steal this gaudy gold and diamond necklace he wore in all of his videos.
Jeezy, rapper number one, the famous one, sends his goons to go beat up rapper number two to take his diamond encrusted chain. Sound like Jeezy. Sound like rapper number two is Gucci.
That's where it got in.
First off, how is it that the police can tell this classified information like this without getting in trouble?
Interesting. The goon squad shows up at rapper number two's place. He pulls a gun and starts shooting. One of the attackers gets hit, makes it about 200 yards away from the house.
How? How can the FBI agent, even if he's retired, sit up here and talk about stuff from cases like this?
Before he drops dead. Rapper number two is arrested for murder, but it's dismissed as self-defense. And the real criminal here is rapper number one, who ordered the violent act that got his man killed. I had the phone records of two witnesses prepared to testify for what would have been a rock-solid RICO murder case. But for reasons that were never explained to me, the U.S. Attorney's Office declined prosecution, and rapper number one went on to have a phenomenally...
Hold up, y'all. Listen. Y'all slide over there to FLAKKO channel. Enjoy the rest of that video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for the view. We are at 481 as far as subscribers. We try to get to 1,000. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. As always, thank y'all for watching and free the bros. Free the bros.